Hello and welcome again to the Writer Review. This is Eric Writer, and this week we're going to be taking a look back at the 2011 science fiction drama movie titled Love. Now, Love runs for 1 hour and 24 minutes long. It is directed by William Eubank. It is written by William Eubank. It is produced by the alternative band Angels and Airwaves, which was, of course, led by former Blink 182 guitarist frontman Tom DeLonge, along with Mark Eaton, Daniel Figur, Vertel Scott, and Nate Kobeck. Okay, let's see here. The cinematography was done by William Eubank. It was edited by Brian Burden and Scott Chestnut, and the music was composed by uh, Angels and Airwaves. And the stars of the movie are Gunnar Wright, Corey Richardson, Bradley Horne, Nancy Stella, Roger E. Fanter, Jesse Hotchkiss, Troy Mittleider, Brid Caveney, Ambyr Childers, B. Anthony Cohen, James C. Burns, Lee Bettencourt, Mark Eaton, Brian Vanik, Dan Figur, Jessica Rizo, Allison Curtis, and Rachel Rosenstein. So the story goes a little something like this. Captain Lee Miller, played by Gunnar Wright, becomes the first person to ride the International Space Station in about 20 years to check if it's still available to function properly. During his time in space, he is alone and isolated, which is a feeling no human really wants to position themselves in, though Mission Control is keeping in contact with him frequently. You know, I would just frequently, I would just, you know, I would just, freak out if I was put in this precarious situation. I do not want to travel in space alone. I want to have a companion with me. No fucking chance in hell will I ever want to fly in space alone. That is until a transmission malfunctions and communication gets cut off. Oh boy, now he's really up shit's creek now, isn't he? I tell ya. At first, Lee assumes that it's all just a stress exercise until he realizes that there is trouble happening back home on Earth. While there's trouble happening back home on Earth, he is stuck in space. He is like all bets are off. He is like really, really, literally up shit's creek now, with no communication and everything is all shut off. How the fuck is he gonna spend his time? For most of the movie, everything just pretty much goes silent. It's not heavy on dialogue, but expression, atmosphere, and even the set pieces are really what stands out. From his window, he observes lights and explosions hitting Earth, while he's practically helpless, stranded in outer space, all alone, and not a soul to communicate with. Oh, isn't that just Jim Dandy here, folks? So, written and directed by William Eubank. Also, he does the cinematography as well. Love also features a soundtrack by the band Angels and Airwaves, and it explores how human condition and it needs social interaction and the effects it has upon those who become deprived of it. Yeah, terrific. I'm here on Earth. I'm here out there in outer space, all by myself, and not a single soul to communicate with. Well, back there on Earth, disaster has struck, and there's nothing that I could do about it. The only thing I could do is sit in the station and wait. Oh, somebody will remember me. It'll be just a matter of time. Yes, sirree. All in a matter of time. I'm a little doubtful if I am eligible to write a review of this caliber. There are a myriad of subliminal elements happening here. A lot of the material is a bit overwhelming to grasp at. You know, I've had a few dreams of waking up only to find no one around to talk to. You can tell the isolation, the loneliness, and the disparity that comes with it. Believe me, it's no fucking good feeling here, folks. Though I'm not the greatest social butterfly, nor will I ever be considered, the life of the party, I still feel the need to talk to someone every once in a while. I mean, in person. Sometimes I need a little bit of some physical interaction. Well, physical, communication interaction. Not on social media behind a computer. Although sometimes, you're kind of left with really little to no choice. It's both sad and frightening to feel this way, even if I am organically introverted. Yeah, it's not exactly a pleasant experience, to say the least. It must be a worse experience when you're in outer space alone, like I am, with no contact with anyone. Help! Get me down! Oh yeah, no communication. Stuck in space. Nowhere to go. No one to talk to. I want my mommy. There are, yeah, sure, a lot of kids, when asked what they wanted to be when they grow up, a lot of them had ambitions of becoming an astronaut, like me. To me, being that far away from home to something I would never dream of at all. Yeah, I prefer the place I call home right here on Earth, which I wish I was doing right now. I'm stuck here. I'm stuck in the space station. I don't know what to do to occupy my time. Even though it's not necessarily that safe. Sure, life on Earth is not exactly the safest place. You have natural disasters. You have war. You have disease. And a lot of other unpredictability. But hey, you know what? I'm okay with where I am. And I wouldn't want it any other way. I'm surrounded by family. I'm surrounded by friends. I'm surrounded by people I love. And I love it that way. I wish that rocket would show up. I don't envy Lee and the situation he's facing in this entire movie. Hey, who needs a horror film to get a good scare? Sometimes the best scares don't necessarily come from ghosts, monsters, or any other kind of evil entities, or anything that just simply goes bump in the night. Just being alone in a space station with no communication and nobody to reach home about, well, that's a scary experience in its own. All you have to do is sit through Captain Lee Miller going through the emotions that he's alone and he has no one to call for help. If only somebody would just get me down. Where are you? Mission Control, help me! So what does he do? So what does he do to occupy his time? I wish I could find something to occupy my time. Oh, well, hey, I got a treadmill. Yeah, I'll do a little exercise. Yeah, that'll help me out. Oh yeah, fit as a fiddle, huh? Yeah. Oh, here's a book. How to make origami animals. I got a lot of paper. Maybe I'll build an entire jungle made out of origami paper folding. Yeah. Gotta hand it to the Japanese. They really know how to keep you busy, huh? Ooh, what's this? It's a journal dating back to the Civil War. This should be interesting. About a Civil War soldier chronicling his mission. Unknown object. What unknown object? Wait, come on. The guy's name is General Lee Briggs. Wow. This is fucking interesting. It seems to me that the more he reads the journal, the longer he is out there and is progressively losing his sanity. Him losing his sanity? What about my sanity? I'm losing my sanity too. Not that I really ever had sanity to begin with. But, I'm going to hand it to Mr. Eubank. William Eubank, the director, does a confident directing job for a relatively first-timer, thanks to his years of experience as a cinematographer. Obviously, he has inspiration from other Lost in Space type of movies like Gravity, The Martian, one of the greats, including 2001, A Space Odyssey by the legendary Stanley Kubrick, Solaris, and many other sci-fi dramas like this one. Eubank has a movie that looks like something that could have been an award grabber. And, yeah. Now, if he can only direct me home, where's that rocket? Wish they would have sent me a pizza down here on Earth. Well, look at that. Look what's happening now on the moon. I mean, oh boy. You know, I didn't notice this at first, but the moon does look like green cheese. So, the start of the movie, Gunnar Wright shows just the perfect pitch of emotion as an isolated astronaut who you deeply sympathize with as his sanity is declining minute by minute. I was relieved when this movie ended, but not in a bad way, as I couldn't bear to sit through 90 minutes of watching a man lost in space and the number of years he spent alone on that spacecraft. I wish they'd come. Oh, if I should visit the moon on a rocket ship high in the air. Yes, I'd like to visit the moon, but I don't think I'd like to live there. A lot of credit definitely goes to the soundtrack by Angels and Airwaves, which was led by former Blink-182 guitarist frontman Tom DeLonge. Their music caught the mood perfectly for what we were about to sit through. It followed the sad and isolated journey our protagonist has to embark, and it was spot on in its delivery. There were moments in the film that at times confused me, but maybe it was done that way on purpose. The ending is definitely an open field for drawing your own conclusions and interpretations, and I like that very, very much. Maybe I feel satisfied that none of my questions have been answered as it maintains a mystery. If this movie was spoon feeding us, it would be very effective in its storytelling and would lose all its darkness given to us. But still, love definitely deserves, a second viewing or multiple viewings to, get a better understanding of what's going on. And through those viewings, you'll definitely learn new things ever. Yeah. So, that's one of the beauty of this movie. I really highly recommend it. And there's some kind of a connection between that journal that Captain Lee Miller was writing, and I think also there is a lot of the science fiction things. If there was any weakness, it's not just the emphasis being science fiction. It definitely has more of a dramatic storytelling than as a because you're not gonna see like Little Green Men. You're not gonna see laser battles or things like that, or world domination and whatnot. No, but you're still gonna see the horrors of what it's like to be alone in a space station with no communication and no direction home. And for that, it is scary enough as it is. And so when all is said and done, if I was to give this movie a scale out of 10, I would give Love from 2011 a 9 out of 10. So oh, look at this! There's my rocket! It's on its way now! So until well, I guess this kind of ends my ride review. I'd like to thank you all for your viewership. If you wish to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please feel free to do so. If you wish to leave a comment, go right ahead. But just remember the 3 simple rules: be kind, be courteous, and please refrain from any rude comments. And I will be back again with another movie review. So until next time, this is Eric Current Rider saying, keep watching those movies, and I'll see you around. Oh, by the way, there's my rocket. Oh, thank goodness, I'm gonna be going home. It's been nice visiting the moon. I placed the Six Nations flag right there, and I'm gonna be heading home. And why don't I give you guys just farewell. Do some adjustments here. A little hard to do with the helmet on. But yeah. So long, everyone. And I'll see you back on Earth with another movie review. So until next time, this is Eric Rider saying, keep watching those movies. And I'll see you around. And if you ever go to space, don't go alone. And make sure all equipment and all communication systems are fully functioning. You don't want to go through what they went through or what I went through. Okay? Till then, have a safe journey home. I know I will.